week 19 of our journey here together. We almost reached week 20, week 19 almost. Week 20. It's one more week and then it'll be week 20. How do we say 20 in Spanish anyway? I say that.
20.
Viente.
Vente or venti in Italian?
Viente.
Viente.
Oh, viente. Okay, interesting. Alright. How you say it how you say it in Korean? Anyone know? And the class is silent. I know how you say it in Korean.
I don't know Korean.
I know how to say it in
No.
Yeah.
I know how to say it in Korean, trust me. If you only listen. We was on what? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Oh yeah, 2021. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, good. That's what we was on. Did we finish it? And if not, why? Okay, yeah. You won't believe today in class, right? Oh, it wasn't this question. Oh, it was funny though. Let me just show you. Today in class, right? So I asked
This was virtually.
No, it wasn't virtual. This is right, a real class, right? So I asked the students, how you do this, right? And I hope you all get this right and don't shame me. I say, okay, well, do 400 plus 450 divided by 2. What's your answer? Let me add it. What's your answer for that?
275.
275, okay.
Oh, come on.
What's your answer, Kennedy?
I even finished reading the question.
And I take my slow time?
And you take your slow time, okay. Anyone else? So everybody agreed that it's 275. Nah, don't tell me you don't agree and then something changed. Do you agree, yes or no?
I get 475.
You get 475. Okay, interesting. Anyone else? One more before I actually do it. One more, please. Anyone can say that answer? Okay, I guess they're quiet today. Okay, so yeah, so what they did, they add 400 and they add 400 and they add 150, and then of course you get 550, right? What they did was then they divided by 2, right? And then of course by doing that, that'll give you what? That'll give you the 275, right? Let's see, 400.
Yes, sir.
I give you the 2. Let's see, 550. 550.
You managed that, Cooper.
Is 275. So can someone tell me what's wrong with that?
Okay, so in the PEMDAS, it's supposed to be in the order. So division go way before adding and subtracting. So you have to divide first.
Exactly.
I wasn't thinking, no way, bro.
Yeah, you divide.
I wasn't thinking, like, I was like, okay, let me just add this and divide. I was not thinking. I should have looked. Oh my god.
Yeah, and so I was like, how y'all get 275? So the answer is you have to divide these two first. So 150 divided by 2, then that'll give you 75. All right, and then when you add that to 400, then you'll get 475. And so don't make that mistake that my students made today. I was like, that's interesting. I got that mistake. And so
what grade it was in?
7 and 8.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
What grade do you teach?
I teach 7 to 12, but that particular period was 7 and 8. So,
Like homeroom.
oh, homeroom. My homeroom is 9 and 10.
Oh.
Okay, so where are we? Okay, so yeah, let's continue that journey. So I just thought that I would.
I still didn't like how I get
I was like, how? I was like, scoop up all the right for the trap, and she heard me say, she heard me say,
Well, like I wasn't when I saw that I was like, okay, the simple add and division. I wasn't thinking about PEMDAS and all that.
yeah. Okay, now see, some of y'all gotta help me now. I trying to figure out how far through this paper did we go. I feel like we did this.
We did pass this.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, we did do this. I remember this graphic.
When I lose my streak, we can talk about that.
Oh yeah. And then
We do this.
We do this too.
yeah. And
We do this.
did we do this?
No,
I remember doing this.
I don't remember.
Oh, we
that.
stopped at the we stopped at the ratio. All right, so Mr. Steams shared $20,000 between her two sons, Bob and Sam, in the ratio 2 to 3 respectively. And when we say respectively, what do we mean?
In order.
In order, very good. Nancy, you got 275 to 8.
No,
Yeah.
I put in my calculator. I know better.
Yeah. All right, what your calculator give you?
475, because remember, the calculator do all that work for
Yeah,
you.
they do all the work. All right, okay then. All right. Well, I hope that battery don't die in the exam. I hope that battery don't die. I really hope. If that's the case, bring 2 calculators. Yeah. So
Why are you switching that over me? I don't like it.
I didn't speak that. I said I hope. I never said it will. I said I hope.
Okay, you want something different tonight. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I didn't even start yet. Okay, so
Today, for the day. I could be.
so when we say respectively, we mean that Bob has 2 equal parts, and then Sam has 3 equal parts. And so calculate the amount that Bob received. So quickly do that, and before I give the answer, if anyone got it already, let me know. I don't want to just give the answer. I think our grown-ups now, we could find answers ourselves first. So let me know what you get.
I just started it because I was trying to save some screenshots from class today.
Okay. So calculate the amount that Bob received. So be careful. Bob received. Kennedy, you finished, right?
8,000.
Alright. Okay, 8,000. Anyone want to second that? Kennedy says 8,000.
Almost finished.
Finish. You're taking very long on this. What's the answer? Kennedy says 8,000. Anyone else? Okay, let me do it then, because I don't want to take too long on this one. So the trick here is that we want to find we want to find one equal part. So Miss Thames, Mr. Thames rather, she shared this money, 20,000, between her two sons, and Bob got two equal parts, and Sam got three equal parts. Or we could say,
Mr. T,
yes, ma'am.
what Kennedy get? I finished my answer.
What you got?
I can't do.
What you got?
Very scared. No.
I don't hear with
Nah, hold on, man.
what you got. Don't be shy, y'all. Don't be shy, man. That means y'all ain't confident. Come on.
My second answer.
You second can the answer. What you get, Miss Cooper?
Yeah.
People so shy. Anyway.
What I got?
Yeah, what you got?
Hold on.
Mercy. Anyway, so Bob got 2 shares, Sam got 3 shares. Now we want to know the amount that Bob received. Now, remember, this is $20,000 shared equally into 5 parts, because 3 plus 2 is 5. And so the trick here is that you want to figure out what is one equal share or one equal part. And then since Bob got 2 of those equal parts, we'd multiply that by 2. And so the trick here is find what one share is. One share is going to be 20,000 divided by 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is definitely 5. So that's 20,000 divided by 5. That'll give us 4,000. So that's one equal part or one share. And then all you need to do is to find the amount that Bob received. That'll be 2 equal parts. So that'll be 2 times 4,000, which is exactly 8,000, like Carter and Kennedy said.
Okay, I got that. I just didn't say
Yeah.
that.
I don't believe that.
I swear, I have no fear.
Oh, I can believe that.
Okay, don't believe it.
All right. So, but if you got it, okay, Miss Cooper, kudos. Very good. Next up we have Bob invested his share. Ooh, kind of gave it away. Bob invested his share for 2 years at 4% simple interest. 4% annum, 4% per annum, simple interest. Everyone knows what per annum means? Per annum. What is an annum?
A year?
A year, yes, a year. So 4% interest per year. So what is the formula for simple interest, by the way?
P times R times T over something.
Over 100.
Over 100. Very good.
Yeah.
Boy, Kennedy, this is on, man. This is on. Really element. Good. So we got, what is the principal? Yeah.
8,000.
8,000.
What is the time in years?
2 years.
2 years. And what is the rate? Interest rate?
4%.
4%. And so using that and using the simple interest formula, tell me the answer that you get, please.
$650 is the answer.
650 is the answer. You won't even ask me. Tell him 650 is the answer. You won't say, is it? You declare that. Anyone else?
How much she got?
She got 650.
All right. I didn't get that, but all right.
You got
Pardon me?
what you got?
640.
640. I think the teacher is done. Alright, so we have,
Oh shoot, yeah.
so which is it? We know that principal is
Like
8,000.
640.
Okay. Rate is
Okay, now
50.
I show.
Time is 2. And so all we doing is what? We gotta cancel out these zeros, right? And so these zeros are gonna cancel out with each other. And so we're left with 84 and 2 over 1. And that'll give us 640. How you minus 650, Kennedy?
I got 640, but I wasn't sure. So yeah.
It was an accident when I was multiplying.
Okay. Okay, so it's 640. The amount of money, what's the amount of money he had at the end of 2 years?
8,640.
8,640, and what about that?
Please.
You said go back up?
Yes, sir.
Alright, sure. Good.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so let's go down. The amount of money he had at the end of 2 years is going to be 8,640 because I can't believe I added this or show how to add this. This is so unnecessary. But yes, 0 plus 0, 0 plus 4, 0 plus 6, 8 plus 0 is that. So we add the principal plus the interest to get the total amount he had at the end of 2 years. So after 2 years, the interest accumulated is $640 after 2 years. So that's not good at all in my opinion. At any rate, so on to say 8,640. Alright, so this one is geometry. Okay, this should be good. What is the size of A?
55 degrees.
55 degrees. Anyone?
55.
You agree? Why? That's the question.
Vertically opposite angle.
Vertically opposite angles are equal. Very good. And so you gotta think for this one now. Then therefore, what is the size of B?
Ooh. Well, A and the other side like the same one, no?
A is 55. What is B?
You would add A, you would multiply A by 2, and then you minus that from 180.
Yes. Very good. Because this is 55. This is also 55. So 55 plus 55 gives me what?
110.
110.
110.
And then we subtract that from 180 to get that B is 70.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Who's trying to say that, you know?
Yeah, you started. It's like, are they equal?
I was trying to say A and the next side should be equal, so whatever A is the next side, but then Nancy take over.
I know. I know that's what you was trying to say, but you was guessing.
I was sure, but I wasn't saying it like I was sure.
Okay. So this is A, this is A. We know that because it's isosceles triangle. Because these two represent that the line segments are equal, but they simultaneously represent that the angles are equal as well, because that's the nature of an isosceles triangle. Two sides are equal, and therefore, or consequently, the two angles are equal. And so then there's that. Okay, so let's move on. Then we have this one. This is what do we call the shape?
It's a quadrilateral.
Very good, Cooper. So what is C, and then what is D?
C, we would do angles on a straight line. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, yeah, wouldn't we do angles on a straight line?
Anyone want to second that?
Wait, I can tell you what D is. You add all of them?
I want to C first. Let's do C.
Wait, no, we can do D first.
No, C. Let's do C first. What is C?
Anybody want to go?
I gotta ask for permission, Nancy. Just let us see it.
No, because some of them could be working on it, like how she said at the beginning. She was trying before I answered, but I just want to make sure.
She's trying, and she let's go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Okay. C would be 180 minus 62.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Oh!
Because it's on the line.
Because if you extend the line that's cut in 62 and 7, it's going to show you that it's angle on a point.
So angles on a straight line at a common point add up to 180. So angles on a straight line at a common point add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so
That's 118.
So therefore, C is what?
118.
118. That's what we got. And then second that.
I should have said so. I know I said.
What you got?
I said I should have stick with angles on a straight line instead of myself. I mean, on the exam, I was gonna end up doing that anyway, because and for DAL 110.
Okay, so C is 118 and D is 110.
I got both of them.
Very good. How do we get D?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we add 150 and 62 and 73, all angles what we do have inside, and then we subtract them from 360.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so alright, so and the reason, what's the reason that we add all them up and
Angles in the quadrilateral supposed to add up to 360.
yes, the interior angles of the quadrilateral interior angles of a quadrilateral must add up to 360 degrees. All right. So what we do is we say 360 minus 115 plus 62 plus 73, right? And that gives us 250. And so 360 minus 250 is 110. All right, so let me move on. Number 12. So this is a pie chart, right? What does this box indicate?
90 degrees.
90 degrees.
What's up, T? Hey there.
Pardon?
I think we did this before.
You did this before. Okay.
I think we can do it again.
It ain't there to
So that means that it's even more that we should get it right.
Yeah.
All the angles here have all the colors here have an angle except for which color?
Green.
Green is the only one that they did not give us they did not give us you know, they did not give us the angle for green. The angle for blue is 40, the angle for yellow is 150, and the angle for red is 90. Now, with that in mind, let's continue. So here the axis, oof. Calculate the fraction
where it goes.
of red crayons in the box. That's gonna be what?
What?
1? No.
Anybody want to go?
I don't know actually.
Let's go ahead.
Red crayons. Would it be 90 degrees? I mean, about 90 over. Wait, should I reduce it? Wait, do you have to reduce it?
Yeah, reduce it, please.
I'll let someone else. Y'all take the lead.
Back to you, Nancy.
Let's not make this harder than it is. Someone can please answer.
I know we did this before.
Hold on. Does this have to be like subtracting or something?
Lila.
Right, no subtracting.
Isn't it 90?
Is there 1 over 4?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Say it again, Alicia.
4, because if you reduce 90 and 360, you get 1 over 4.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Always a reason in this group. Alright, so
But I told you I could pass it on. I gave the answer, but I wanted to,
I know that.
That's a
Elizabeth, you don't know that though.
What?
That she actually don't know that.
She did. She started off by giving it, but she said, you know what? Should I reduce it? And then if I reduce it, yeah. So it's 1 over 4. We divide, because this is 90, we divide over 360. The reason why we divide over 360 is because angles at a point all add up to 360 degrees. Not angles on a point on a straight line now. This is different. This angles at a point. They what's gonna happen is gonna have a full revolution. Okay, so it's like one complete turn around the circle, if you must. And so that add up to 360 degrees. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, what not to say, right? What not to say, right? I see this happen, and I think I should say this, because when you become adults, you might end up saying this. Please don't say this. it is totally it is not right, and it gets annoying when I hear it. All right, so please do not say this. So they'll say, yeah, this child was so bad, and this child was so this child was so, you know, this child was rude and careless, and then they say, this child made a 360-degree turn, and now they are good.
Miss Petite, I hear you say this before. I hear you say this before.
Right? So
Let me guess. This is
I mean, they gone back to being bad, I guess.
Right? You gonna guess if it's why that don't make no sense?
Because they go back to their original state.
Yeah, because if you make a 360-degree turn, you start at this point and you go all the way around. And so what happens? You come right back to where you was. So, like, if you say the person made a 360-degree turn,
but some of them thinking that they started new, 360 could mean, we started new.
No, you can't
fresh.
360-degree turn. Can't
A
say
fresh
that.
line.
You can't. Because you right back to where you was, right? You have to say that the person made a what? They didn't make a 360-degree turn. They made a what?
Straight line.
Not a straight line. That means that they was on. So let's say that this is
okay.
Let's say that this was negative side and this is positive side. Let's say, right? If we start here and they made a 180-degree turn, right? Which means that they was bad. Then now they turn good. So now we are the opposite side. We're not at the same point where we started. We're on a different side, right? Or if they was, it could be the other way around. So if they was they could have been a good child, so positive, and then they turned to be a bad child. So it's still 180-degree turn, right? It's not 360. So please do not embarrass yourself by saying that they made a 360-degree turn. And there's someone I have to explain that to someone, let them know that.
I never had nobody say that. They made a 360-degree turn.
Okay, you probably haven't been alive long enough. But they say
that ain't even make sense to me. They made a 360-degree turn. First of all, not too long to say 360-degree turn. What?
They might say
it's time for the worst.
They might say the person with a 360. That's what they'd say. You know what I
mean? But why though?
Yeah, that's the term. I've heard it multiple times, and I even said it before until someone who corrected me on this. Someone corrected me on this. I was like, "You're right. It's not 360." And I correct myself right quick. And so, yeah, don't make that mistake, especially coming from a math class. If mommy say it or daddy say it, say excuse me, it really ain't. Nah, don't do it when they having a debate or discussion now, because then
they get slapped down.
They might give you a 360. Okay. Find the angle used for green. Find the angle.
Go up.
You would add 90 plus 40 plus 150 minus it from 360, and then you get the green.
I agree.
You got this green.
So be second it. So what's the answer though? Y'all tell me what to do. But what's the answer?
80 degrees.
80 degrees. Okay. 80.
Yeah, someone give us the answer just now.
Okay, 80 degrees.
Yes, sir.
So what we do is we do 360 minus 90 plus 40 plus 150. Add that together, we get 280. 360 minus 280 is 80. So that's that. Okay, so moving right along. So the other question says, tell me the ratio of blue to green. I don't want to give you all the answer, but I want you all to see. Oh my goodness, that's a giveaway. Calculate the ratio of blue to green in simplest form.
Which is
Blue to green in simplest form. You say
Okay, you go.
Kennedy?
yes. So
Okay.
Can you go down?
Go down. The ratio of blue to green in simplest.
I agree with the half.
You agree with the half? Okay. What it was before you get the half?
40 to 80, right?
40 to 80. I'm not sure because blue is 40, 80, green is 80. And so the thing is, if you can't find what 80 is, right? What green is, then you can't answer this question, right? And so so that's why it's important to be able to get this. But yeah, it is a half. So blue is 40, green is 80, and it's the ratio 1 to 2. All right, or ratios could be written as a fraction, so it's a half. All right, moving right along. There are 72 crayons in the box. Calculate the number of yellow crayons in the box.
Oh, what's that?
There are 72 crayons in the box. Calculate the number of yellow crayons in the box.
Mr. T, you could go back up so I could take screenshots of the questions we do for this.
No problem. So 72 crayons in a box. Calculate the number of yellow crayons. Give me one moment. Who's that? Mommy.
Can you go back down to the question, please?
Sorry about that. So my apologies for that. So then there's that. Someone is asking me to do that for her to see. So what's the answer? There's 72 crayons in the box. Say it again.
I get 24.
Okay. Anyone else? Good. Okay, so someone said 24. Well, the way how we do this is we know that we know that what did I do here? Oh, yellow. Yellow is 150. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna write this as a fraction, to express this as a fraction of the total amount. So 150 divided by 360, right? So that's what we do. And then we want to multiply that by 72, right? So that's 150 divided by 360 multiplied by 72. That's what we did. Okay, and then the rest is history. The rest is just regular multiplication. Again, 150 divided by 360 multiplied by 72 over 1 rather. Alright, and so what we do here, we cancel these two zeros. That leaves us with 15 over 36. And then, 36 goes into itself once, and it goes into 72 twice. So we have 15 times 2, which is, right? So that's how we get something like that. That's an screen.
Possibility.
Yes, ma'am.
You can start from the top of this question so I can take all the screenshots for you.
Sure. Okay, so that's how we get 30. Right? Any questions on how we got 30? Oh, we good. All right, so let me this person like gonna allow you to take the screenshots. So this is the first one. I guess you want the question too as well. So that's how the question begins. And then we have down some more. There's that.
Okay, I got that part.
Got that part. Okay. And then this.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on. The answer is 30. The Venn diagram below shows the number of students in my class on a basketball team. Study the diagram and answer the questions that follow. So we have this set representing the basketball team, this set representing the math club, and they said 4 students are on neither team. So they're not on the basketball team, and they're not on the math team. And so where to put the 4? The place where you put the 4 is
On the outside.
on the outside. Next up, we have the next question, which says to calculate the total number of students on the basketball team. So would that be total number of students on the basketball team?
$15.
Yes, 15.
Put it in. 15.
15.
How you get 15?
7, 5, and 3.
No, the total number of students on the basketball team.
Oh, wow.
Well,
12.
I said
Alright.
Yeah, I just did that.
12. So we got 12 by what?
and 75.
Okay, Kennedy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, don't laugh, because that happened to me too when I was doing this question.
No, I laughing at her. I laughing at her. I just laughing at what they finished.
Oh, they have something going on in the chat.
No. She just said she ain't answering no more.
Oh, Kennedy. No man, Kennedy, you are right. We know you're a maths guru. 12 students. Okay. State the number of students that are in the math club only.
Can you scroll up, please?
7.
Set
Math club only. Math.
3. That's
3.
good.
Oh,
That's good.
I knew.
Well,
I
math club.
knew that.
You read that wrong.
No, I knew that. I knew.
Guess it.
It's 3. 3. Math club only.
Sure.
All right. 3 students. Write down the number of students that are in the math. Write down the number of students that are in the math club and are on the basketball.
5.
5.
5.
Sure.
Intersection.
You didn't even have to scroll up for that one.
You didn't have to. Okay, take the words right on my mouth.
The last time you guessed it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now calculate the total number of students in the class. So, Kennedy, it's your time to shine.
15. Plus 15, 16.
You can scroll up.
I said that.
Kennedy the answer.
20.
Kennedy.
Yeah, he said it's 20.
20.
Because, yeah.
Because you add what?
Dang it! Thank you. I was like, where did 20 come from? If I get 19, I knew it, bro. I knew.
Oh, jeez. My God.
I was like, where did 20 come from?
It's 4, 7, 5, 3. So,
I mean, she was close to the answer. I mean, just 1 point away from the answer.
so it's 19 students. We add. What do we add? We add what? The 4, the 7, the 5.
4, 7, 5.
You can go back, please.
And where the other 3 come from?
Well, see, look, 7 and 3 is 10, 5 and 4 is 9. So
Oh my God.
Yep.
I forgot to add the 3.
yes. Yeah.
Mother 3.
Classic, I know.
Classic, man. All right. So let's move on. Okay, so the weight of 6 boxes is recorded below. Okay. 75 grams, 85 grams, 92 grams, 56 grams, 75 grams, 83 grams, and 87 grams. I think we all know where this is heading.
Yeah, what is the neat?
Determine the modal weight of the boxes.
I forget what the mode is again.
What?
75.
No.
75, yes.
Oh my.
Most.
I legit guessed that, bro. Oh my God.
75 is the number that occurs the most, right? The most
Yes, sir.
frequent.
I thought for the mode you had to add it all, then
No,
divide it.
that's the
Okay.
mean. The mean,
Oh,
mean on
Lord.
average. Lionel?
He was joking, Mr. Petito. Don't cut again.
I'm telling you, I thought mode was that, but let me say 75.
Good guess.
That's median. So it's 75 grams. Why? It's the most popular value in the data set. No other number occurs more than 75. I notice I did put the units, so make sure I also put the units as well.
Ooh.
So don't just put 75. It's 75 grams. Because they say the modal weight.
Okay.
Next up, we have calculate the range.
And that's when you have to subtract the highest number from to the lowest.
Yeah, the highest from the lowest.
I honestly don't know the range.
You joke.
So take the highest value and the lowest value and subtract them.
Okay, well now I know. Now I know.
The answer is 36.
The answer is 36. What's the highest number?
92.
What's the lowest number?
56.
56. And subtract.
Oh, lowest.
Lowest, yeah.
Oh.
So 92 minus 36 is 92 minus 56 is 36, like Lionel said adequately. Very good, Lionel. I just hope your streak doesn't come to an end soon. All right.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were gone.
I thought you gone.
Where you going? Where you going?
You know, I'm Mr. BT Wi-Fi.
I said, you know that.
What y'all saying about my Wi-Fi?
Huh?
You know that.
Oh, he froze out. See what I mean?
I hear exactly what y'all say. All right. The median.
That's when you have to put them from least to greatest and
find the middle numbers. Yes.
Find the middle numbers.
Now put it down. Let's see the answer.
What is the answer? I ain't tell you.
Can you scroll up?
Let me scroll back up to the numbers.
Mr. B, we know.
Watch they give me the wrong answer. And this thing now, this thing so easy.
75.
75. Even the way you say that sound wrong.
No, it's 83. My fault.
75 or 83? Make up your mind. What it is? 75.
83.
Anyone else?
It's not 83?
No, I want to know if anyone else want to give it.
Oh.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. Anyone else?
I agree with the 83.
83? Okay.
Not the 75.
Pardon? I missed that one. I thought someone said something. Okay. Moving right along. Excuse me. So we arrange it from least to greatest. 56, 75, 75,
Oh.
83, 85, 87, 92. The 56.
I think the last one.
I heard what the person said, by the way.
What they said?
22.
85.
They said 85.
They were not saying no 25. They said 85.
Who that was?
Miss Nancy.
5?
That's all.
That ain't true.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see it. I see it.
No way.
No, I was calculating, and yeah, they kind of hurt when I was calculating when I said something about 85.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I
so let me look for the middle number. In this case, the middle number is one number, so that's good. It's 80. It's 83. Not 75 line.
Mr. Petit.
I ever say 75.
What you're supposed to do if it's two numbers again?
You have to add them and divide them.
Oh my god.
Add them and divide by what?
2.
Divide by 2, yes.
Okay. Thanks, Lionel.
Oh, I'm trying to figure why you keep saying, okay, Mr. B. Hey, I'm trying to...
Alright, next up we have the average. I'm sorry, give you the answer.
79. I just saw it. I just saw you scroll on the answer.
I don't sick.
You think he's sicky? Slicky.
Please don't call no one no names. Don't do that.
You don't want to call no one no name. I said slick.
No name calling. Period.
So slick is a name?
You know exactly what I mean. Her name is Miss Cooper. Alright.
I said he's slick.
Mr. BT, I said you slick.
I say no name calling. What part do you understand? The name or the calling?
No way.
Boy.
Alright, so the average weight of the boxes is what?
79.
Yeah, right. I hope you saw the wrong thing. So what do we do? We add them all, right? And so it's 56, 75, 75, 83, 85, 87, 92. Add them all. We get 553 divided by 7 is 79. I don't know how you see that so quick. I didn't even see it when I bring it down.
Oh wow, Lionel.
Guys. Oh, Mr. Bethel.
The predict.
Pardon?
You can scroll up, please.
Up to which one? This one or further up?
That one right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, let's go. Triangle PQR is shown below. Oh no, we ain't doing this.
I don't even know how to do that. I'm gonna
We
do
never
it.
did this question. No, that's the thing. I think I always skip it. I think we should do it since.
You know, skipping today because exams right there.
I always skip it because yeah, let's just do it one time.
I mean, we could technically skip it. Not if I see the question.
Yeah, but by the time we finish this, it's gonna be past 8 o'clock.
Oh, Miss Petite, like
that's not
like we could do it tomorrow because like thing up.
Because like what?
No, for real, like the parts for my geometry set I lost. I have to get a new one.
When you getting that?
Tomorrow, I see it. I can get it tomorrow.
All right then. Okay. All right then. For your sake, we have to go.
No, for real, I get this. I ain't joking though. I ain't joking.
We have to go to Bgcse papers anyway.
So. Okay.
It's after 7, so.
But don't forget it tomorrow.
I'm not gonna forget it.
Okay.
All right, we on. I think we on 2018 paper now.
Here comes the silence.
No, please don't say that.
Paper 1 thing is be so good. Paper 2.
No, we are in 2018. We in 2016 because we did 2018.
So, Mr. T, how was yesterday?
How was yesterday's class?
Yes.
On fire, man. On fire.
I forgot to join the class.
No, it wasn't for you. It's for those people who taking Bgcse. So.
But what if I still would have joined?
Like Miss Cooper?
Oh.
Miss Cooper always checking in and being our police patrol.
You in there?
Cooper's be right there, making sure we say what we do. We do what we say.
Me?
Yes, you couldn't be the no. All right, so we did all this.
You mean yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Of course you remember that. We did this, and we did this. This is when Nancy got to 0.75. And then we did this with what I said to do for homework. We didn't go past this, so.
Mr. BT, I have a question, like a school question. Wait, do you stress your student out with homework?
No, we don't. I don't give them much homework, honestly. Not like that. I mean, in recent times, I've been giving them a lot of homework in recent times, but as a general rule, they don't give. I don't give much homework because then that means I have to mark it, and yeah,
Marking is too much.
yeah. But
Oh.
yeah, they don't get much homework from me like that. But in recent times, I was like, you know what? I have to give exercises.
Oh, so it's the junior schooling.
Junior and senior. Okay, so this one says here that the estimated number of tourist arrivals for this year is 5.355 million. Did we do this question yet? Oh, I think I gave this for homework. Let me know. I think
I don't remember.
We didn't do it.
If it was for homework, I probably would have done it. So I don't think you gave this for homework. I don't think so, because if it was, I probably would have remembered to do it.
I'm telling you, I gave it some homework.
You sure? So why don't I have it?
I said this is exactly like, because I ended by saying this is exactly like the one.
The wristwatch.
The wristwatch, exactly. That's what I said.
I remember.
Sorry, I don't recall, but I'm gonna do it now.
Remember when you say if that was the first question?
The first question, yes.
And then you say that was on Sunday something.
Yeah.
I'm a blank sheet. Sorry.
Okay, so the idea here is that that's when you gotta think and you gotta. Why is it? I keep on hearing. That's someone else. Probably someone else. Oh. I don't see it again. Oh, what's that guy again? Oh my goodness. Jonathan, can you tell your friend stop, please? He didn't bother us for a while. And then when you... Okay. Oh, I know. The last time we had 20 people in there.
Mr. BT, we always had the same amount of people in here.
20? It usually would be like 15. Thereabout.
No, sir.
Okay. So the estimated number of tourists
that's excluding the one presentation is 18.
The estimated number of tourist arrivals for this year is 5.355 million. This is an increase of 5% from last year. Calculate the number of tourist arrivals for last year. I don't know if you all remember how I told y'all to do this. There's an easy way to do this for my Bgcse people. All we do,
Mr. Calculator.
Turn a percent to a decimal and add one.
And then we do with that, we
want to divide 5.355 million by the number.
Exactly. Good. So what we do is we take.
Look at you working.
I will show is we take 5%. What is 5% as a decimal? That's gonna be what?
0.5?
No.
What?
0.05.
0.05, yes.
Wow.
Then add 1 to that. So add 1 to 0.0.
A whole one or just a percentage one?
A whole one.
So it'll be 1.05.
Yes, 1.05. And you take 5.355 million and divide it by 1.05.
That's a rule?
That's the rule. Remember, Nancy? Where you, Nancy? What's happening? That's what we did. That's exactly what we did. Exactly what we did for the wristwatch.
That's the first Sunday we had.
That's the first Sunday. That's exactly what we did for the wristwatch. Remember with this one? That's when we take the nice.
Oh yes. I remember. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all you're doing is It's
Okay, so
taking,
it'd be easy to do.
yeah, 1.05. So 5.355 million divided by 1.05 should give you what?
7.05 plus 1 equals 3.55 divided by 1.0.
What do you get in that case?
And then you put it over 1.05. That should be 3.355. That's 1.5 million.
1.5 million?
I mean, 5.1 million.
Don't round it.
Don't round it.
But you get exactly.
My calculator gave it.
You get exactly.
Yeah, my calculator.
You get exactly 5.
Yeah, 5.1 million. My calculator rounds it for me.
Sad. Because I think it's 5.16. So 5.355, right?
Yes, sir.
1.05.
05.
1.05.
Yeah, I got 5.1
5.1.
mil.
5.1. Okay, I didn't remember that. Okay, so.
Right.
So it's gonna be 5.1. Oh, it's 5.1 for it. Okay, I remember that number. Okay, so the way how I did it, I said, okay, let X be equal to the number of tourist arrivals in the millions. Then the following computation.
Yeah, do the same thing.
So what happens is we do 5%. X plus X gives us 5.355. And the reason why that's the case is because if we do 5% of our what I say of our original, right? Of our original amount.
But say, what is that noise? Sorry.
That's this guy.
You get irritating.
That's Mr. Peter Nygaard, man.
It's legit starting to get irritating.
The only thing I could do is
It's like you ain't got nothing better to do.
okay, I know.
You can't block the account?
Cannot. Okay, I just have them. Okay, so we can stop. Okay, add, join that one instead. Let's move. And so if anyone gets this account, this new one, that means that y'all are together. So I'm gonna close this one. Join this new one, please.
Is it pretty? You can send that to my WhatsApp, please.
Hola.
Excuse me, you can send that to my WhatsApp, please.
Okay. All right. Okay, so hopefully that stopped. So if the sound continues, that means that someone had to share the link because this is a new one. Okay, so let's continue from this. All right, y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the idea is that we're trying to, all we basically doing in the final analysis really is dividing 5.355 by 105, right? That's what we're doing to get 5.1 million. So the amount that we had for last year was 5.1 million. The amount of tourists we had for last year was 5.1 million. Those numbers are real though. They actually could happen. Like that actually is happening for real. We just get millions of tourists every year for real. I mean, of course, COVID happened and things shift, but before that, we up there in the millions for real. Now,
I still trying to figure out why Mr. Potato looks so fancy. I don't even, hold on. I'm reading, write it down. I never got this.
oh, you mean this?
Oh, shoes to get it. Sorry.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, that's just me being formal, right? But like I said, the essence of it is basically just dividing by 105, 1.05 with 5.355, and then like okay, let me explain. Like the idea is this, right? So the idea is this: you're gonna take 5% of the amount that you got from last year. So that's what I say. Let X be equal to the amount of tourist arrivals in the millions for last year. And so it's going to be 5% times X, which is the amount that you got for last year, plus the amount that you got for last year again. Because this part is the increase, right? Because it said there, it says that there was a 5% increase. So the 5% increase is represented by 5% times X. That is 5% of the original value, like 5% of the amount that we had for last year. But we don't know what that amount is, and so that's why we put X there. So 5% of the original value, right? And then you're gonna add it to the original value. That's how percentages work. And so 5% of the original value plus the original value is going to give you the new value. Okay, and so with that equation, we just solve it as regular. 5% is 0.05x. 0.05x plus x is simply 1.05x because, well, there's an imaginary 1 here. Okay, I didn't put it, but 1 is there. And so it'll be 1.05. We're trying to solve for x, so we divide both sides by 105 and we cancel out. And so we get that x is equal to 5.355 divided by 1.05, which gives us 5.1. But this is 5.1 million. So I said, thus, the number of tourist arrivals for last year was 5.1 million. Okay, so you have to be careful. This is 5.1, not 5.1 thousand or 5.1 hundreds, but 5.1 million. And that's that. Now for B, they ask us to calculate. They say the projected number of tourist arrivals for next year is 5.5692 million. So that's the new amount that we're going to get for next year. And it's interesting because what we're doing is we're saying, hey, last year we got 5.1. This year we got 5.355. Next year we believe that we're going to get 5.5692 million. Now that's a guess because you know COVID could happen and hurricane could happen and all sorts of things could happen that could kind of
Hey, Mr. DT,
mess up.
I have a question. On Saturday, was it flooded by you?
Well, the neighborhood I live in, I kind of live on a hill. So
Oh, yeah. Rich boy.
Not a rich boy. It's just that.
So what they say about them hill people and they rich.
No, no. Oh my goodness. No, rich people live in the heart of Kennedy sub. It's just that Providence has made it so that I live on a hill, and so um there's flooding in the lower part of the hill, but
They busy building sidewalks, building no drainage. And building no drainage.
I understand. And so next year we predict that we're gonna get 5.5692 million. Now the question is, and this you have to listen to the question, like how much percent increase is that? So we moving from, so let me just explain like what's happening now. So last year, how much millions of tourists we got last year? Based on the question. That was what?
5.1.
5.1, very good. 5.1 million, right? Now this year we got an increase, right? And so it was 5.5 million. And then this new year, right? The next year we predict now that we're gonna get 5 point what it was
5.6. I mean 692.
92.
No, 5692.
5692, right? So
no, you missing a 5 before the 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's 5 6 9 2, right? And so the idea here is that when we move from 5.1 to 5.355, how much percent increase was that? That was a how much percent increase?
5%.
That was a 5% increase, right?
Can it be proven with the calculator? Like let's just say if I didn't know, I could put 5.1 over 5 and it give me like 5%.
Well, that's the thing. The question said here, right? The question said here. If we look carefully, right? The question said that this is an increase of 5%, right? So we know that moving from 5.1 to 5.355 is a 5% increase. Now, the question they ask us now is that, well, how much percent increase is when we move from 5.355 to 5.5692? Like how much percent increase is that? And so that's the question that they ask us. And so in order to get that, right, we have to say, okay, well, we're moving from 5.355 to 5.5962. We know that that's an increase. We know that, right? Well, why don't we just take this value, right? Because we're trying to say it's an increase. It's because it's an increase from, and then the other, like, the thing about it's an increase of this particular number, right? So it's a percentage of this number, so that we can get to this. And what I mean is that the percentage is going to come from the 5.355, right? So you have to use the 5.355 somewhere. And so the idea is that let's say, since we don't know what the percentage is, let's call it, what could we call it since we don't know what it is? let's call it what? We don't know what the percentage is.
X.
Yeah, let's call it X, right? So we don't know what this percentage is, right? But what we do know is that when we take this percentage, call it X, right? And then we multiply 5.355 by this percentage. And then we add the 5.355. What will we get?
Wouldn't you get 5.6? I mean 5692?
Yes, we get 5.5692. Now, before I go any further, you have to understand this particular line. If you don't get this line, then it's going to be hard to understand what's happening. So the percentage is going to be multiplied by the original value, right? And so we're saying, hey, what percentage, right, do I need to multiply by the original value such that when I add it to the original value, I get the new amount for tourists, okay? And so the percentage, this thing, right, will tell me how much increase it was, right, from the 5.355, okay? And so you go about solving this like how you'd solve any regular algebraic equation. You send the 5.355 over. So that's the idea that we do here. We say okay, let x be the projected percentage increase for tourist arrivals. Then that means that 5.355x plus 5.355 is going to equal to my new value. Okay. In order to solve for x, we send the 5.355 over. It was a positive here, so it becomes on the x side. It was a positive here, but it becomes a negative. It becomes a negative. Very good. It becomes a negative. And now we subtract the 2. So 5.5692 minus 5.355 is going to be what? 0.2142. We divide both sides by 5.355, and once we do that, we left with 0.2142, and so the answer is 0.04. So what percentage increase was it?
0. So 4%.
4%.
I was close. I got 4.8.
Can you just go over the question, please?
I was close, but is it exactly 4 point or is it like 4 point and a bunch of numbers?
No, it's exactly 4%. It's no 4.8, 4.9. Exactly 4%. And so the shortcut.
So I just did the calculator and I got 4.8. So I thought.
So the shortcut way to do this, right? In general, is that if you want to find the percentage, what you would do is you would take, let me go to the question, you would take the original value, subtract it with the new value, right? And then divide by the original value. That makes sense, because we're trying to find the percentage increase. So, and we don't have to multiply by 100 now. Yeah. So the idea here is that if we're trying to find the percentage increase, so what we do, we take the original value, 5.355, subtract it with the new value, and then divide it by the original value. So you basically take in the increase and then dividing it by the original. So again, if you want to find percentage increase, you would take the original value, subtract it with the new value, then divide by the original value. And that'll give you how much percentage increase you had. Okay, so that's that. So that's exactly what we did. I just did it using algebra, but essentially all I did was I took the old value, subtracted with the new value, then I divided by the old value to get the 4%. Okay, so that's how I do that. Okay, moving right along. I think we did this one before with the matrix. So all of us should be at.
Yes, sir, we did that.
Yeah, we did this one. So the idea is the same. K times 0 is 0 times k. K times 3 is 3k. K times negative 2 is negative 2k. K times 1 is 1 times k. So then we, simplify this one. Notice we just bring these rest down. So M014, we change that. 312 and an 8, we just leave that like so. And then 0 times k is simply 0. 3 times k is simply 3k. And negative 2 times k is simply negative 2k. And 1 times k is k. And so with that being said, so all we did here, we multiplied the k by everything in L. So we call k, by the way, we call k the scalar. Right? So multiply k by everything, every term in this matrix. And so we are left with these two matrices that we have to add. So remember, we add corresponding entries. So it's going to be m plus 0, which is m plus 0. 0 plus 3k, which is 0 plus 3k. 1 plus negative 2k, which is 1 plus negative 2k. And then 4 plus k, which is 4 plus k. We simplify this now to get what? What is m plus 0? What is m plus 0?
0.
What is m plus 0?
Sorry, 1.
What is 0 plus 3k?
3k.
3k. Positive and a negative is still negative, so this is n minus 3k. And then 4 plus k, we keep that the same. At this point, what must we... Wait, before I even move on, everyone understand how we got here before I move on to actually solving?
I understand.
Get it? Any questions before I have to move on to the actual solving part? Okay, so everybody got it. Okay, cool. I'll catch on fast. So, all right. So, what is m?
M is 3.
M is 3. Corresponding entries. What is k?
4.
K is 4. Very good. So the reason why we get that is because we say 3k equals to 12. So 3k equals 12. And so we have 3k equals 12. So that's going to be 3k equals 12. And then we divide top and bottom by 3. So k is equal to 12 over 3k is equal to 4. And then we have 1 minus 2k, which equals to 8. No, 1 minus 2k equals to n. Not
N.
Yeah,
N.
n equals to n. We already know what k is. K is 4.
And then N would be negative 7.
Yeah, negative 7. So 1 minus 8 is negative 7. So n is negative 7. But we did this already. It's just...
Yeah.
Okay. Now the determinant with this one say given that the matrix does not have an inverse, calculate the value of x. That's for 3 points? Wow. Anyway. But the idea here is that since this matrix does not have an inverse, this means that the determinant of this matrix is 0. And so determinant is what? 3 times, so x times 3, which is 3x, and 2 times 1, which is 2. That's how we get the determinant. 3 times x minus 2 times 1. So 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. And so that means that we divide. What did I do? Oh, I send the -2 over the equal sign. So maybe I should indicate that. Let y'all see. I send that over. So we send this over the equal sign. And so we send this over the equal sign. So it was positive, it was negative, it becomes a positive. So we have 3x equals to 2. Then we divide both sides by 3. So x is equal to 2 over 3. So the value of x that would make the determinant 0 and therefore making the inverse not to exist would be 2 over 3.
Mr. Vite, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did they give you 3x minus 2 equals 0?
Specific.
No, they didn't give that to us. We had to find the determinant of this matrix. Remember?
Okay. I'm trying to understand. So where did you come up with? How did you come up with the equation?
Yeah, because if you remember the determinant of a matrix, so given any matrix A, so if we have a matrix A, that is A, B, C, D, then the determinant, right, of this matrix A is going to be equal to what? That's what? AD minus what?
CB.
BC. Right? And so if, right, if we know that the inverse of A, if we know that the inverse of A does not exist, right, then that implies that the determinant is equal to 0.
Staging, theatrical.
Okay, so if A inverse doesn't exist, then that means the determinant of A equals 0. And so that means that AD minus BC must equal to 0 if the inverse doesn't exist. Okay? So if the inverse doesn't exist, then the determinant is 0. Okay?
Not to sound slow, right? But
yeah, go ahead. Ask a question.
Can you tell me what is the determinant? Like, how would you know if it don't or do?
Okay, so the determinant is, we always get the determinant by this formula. That's what the determinant is. The determinant
So,
is,
like, if they don't have a number outside, it'll automatically be 0?
no, okay, I think I understand what's happening there.
Like, in the question, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if it was in question, like, how would I have it in word form for B? Like, how would I know, okay, this is the determinant without?
Okay, so let me give you 5 examples. So maybe it's out. So we have 2, 3, 5, and 6. Let's call this 8, right? What's the determinant of this matrix?
2 and 6 minus 3 and 5.
Good. So it's going to be 2 times 6 minus 3 times 5, right? 3 times 5. So what is 2 times 6? 2 times 6 is what?
12.
12. What is 3 times 5?
15.
15. So the determinant here is what?
3.
Negative
3.
So can we say, so we can say that the determinant of this matrix, right, is equal to what?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Now.
Oh, okay. So in the beginning, so when we have variables like letters, we would automatically say 0.
No. Follow me. So far we know that the determinant of this matrix is negative 3. You agree?
Yeah.
Good. But so since the determinant of this matrix is negative 3, that means that the determinant of this matrix is not equal to 0 then. Because it's negative 3, so it's not 0. Right? So since the determinant of this matrix is not 0, then we know that this matrix has an inverse. So, and that's very important. So the determinant of this matrix is not negative 3. The determinant of this matrix is negative 3. That means it's not 0. That means this matrix has an inverse. Now, if perchance we had a matrix, say matrix A, and when we did the determinant, we got 0, then we would say that that matrix does not have an inverse because its determinant equals to 0. See what I'm saying? Or no?
Somewhat. I understand I get the determinant right, but
okay, you got a determinant. That's perfect. Now, if the determinant, this is the rule. If the determinant equals to 0, then the matrix doesn't have an inverse.
Okay.
So the thing is that they tell us the information that they tell us in this question. They tell us, they say, hey, guess what? This matrix doesn't have an inverse. So it's like that's another way of saying that the determinant is 0. Like that's what they said in a different way. Like by saying that this matrix doesn't have an inverse, that means that the determinant of the matrix is 0. Okay, that's what that means. So that means that when we do 3 times x minus 2 times 1, we should get 0. We should get 0 because it doesn't have an inverse. So that means its determinant is 0. That means when we calculate the determinant have to be 0. You see what I'm saying? That's how we form this equation right here. Because we're saying that the determinant, which is 3 times x times minus 2 times 1, have to be equal to 0. It has no choice. Understand?
Okay, I do. So what actually did we solve for when we have x 2/3?
Good. So when we have x equals 2/3, we're saying that if we want this determinant to be equal to 0, then x have to be 2/3, and I'll show you. Say, what is this? X is, we have x 1, 2, and 3. So we have x 1, 2, and 3, and so we said that x is equal to what?
2/3.
Right now.
2/3. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Now let's find the determinant of this matrix. So it's going to be what?
2/3 times 3. minus 1 times 2.
So simply
2.
So it's gonna equal to what? Well, the 3's are gonna cancel each other. So we're left with 2 minus 2, which is what? 0.
0.
So x have to be equal to 2 over 3, so the determinant could be 0.
Okay, I think I understand.
Yeah. So if x was anything else, say like x, if we get x equals to 5, would that be right?
No.
No, because then it's gonna be what? 3 times 5 minus 2 times 1, which is gonna be 15 minus 2, which is
13?
13, yeah. And that's not 0.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. Thank you. I just was a tad lost. I understand.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So we're saying that the value of x that would make this matrix have a determinant that's 0 is 2 over 3. Okay, so that's the idea up there. And then that's that. Oh, matrices, how convenient. Okay, so with this one, we have OA, the matrix OA and OB are position vectors relative to the origin O.
That's what he.
Yes, ma'am?
That's what I don't understand. I don't really understand vectors. I supposed to tell you that.
I could barely hear you. Say it again.
She said that she don't understand vectors.
Okay. That's all she said?
I think so.
Okay, so I guess that.
You want to send her the same videos you sent me? Because the videos you sent me, I could see them in the back of my head now, without having to.
For real?
Yeah.
They help?
It's like practice, because you sent us the videos, and then you sent us the practice sheets. So like, I know there's only 2 types of vectors, so
Yeah. Yes,
I can see it in the back of my head.
You never sent me no videos and practice sheet.
Ricardo, let's not start there, because when I tell y'all, when I sent the
I was on your YouTube channel though.
I sent the playlist, the same playlist for the vectors. That's the same thing I give her. Fine.
Yeah, the book. Yeah.
Yeah. The book, and then also the videos from the
Yeah. If you practice all of them, you can notice that they're like the same thing, same formula, same format. It's just that you tell a difference when based off of like the first question.
So let me send it to what her name is, Miss Rackley. So just go on my just go on my, what should I say, my channel, and then
could you resend it to me too, so I can download it on my new phone? Because it's
no problem. Just go on Vectors Bgcse playlist, and
greetings, every.
I know Scuba.
No.
I know what Scuba's gonna laugh.
No, y'all gotta listen to the whole thing. He sounds so fancy, honestly.
Oh no, I got screenshot. I gotta find this video.
So much.
Listen, I dare see it in the nighttime going the whole video just to hear you say, "Are you ready, bro?"
Oh, wow.
I see.
That's crazy. So I go through all of, I guess a lot of I should say practice problems on vectors. So
yeah, those really helped also. But before you answered, I'll try to attempt it. Like after the first 2, I'll try to attempt it on my own, and then go back and correct it. That would really help.
Yeah, that helps.
We understand vectors, so that's just
So go over that, Miss what's her name, Bradley, That would be good for you to get a good understanding. Let me send it to you.
I think you should send it to me too so I can watch that.
Cooper, you some notes. Cooper.
Ricardo asked for it.
Who? Ricardo?
Yeah, I think he asked for it as well.
I haven't messed with. They just playing with you.
Oh, okay. That's good.
To me.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's tackle this one. This factors problem. Write the vectors OA and OB in terms of column
A,
vectors.
B. A is 7 over then 15, and then B would be -2, and then 3 at the bottom. Close bracket.
So they say column. So here we have it like I'd say
A row?
in a row form, yeah. This is
Horizontal.
Yeah, horizontal. But they want a column, so they want it vertically, right? And so yeah, and so that's the thing. So we write the same numbers, right? But we just switch them column wise. And so 7, -15, and then so OA is 7, -15, and OB is -2 and 3. Now the next thing is to express AB as a column vector. This one is interesting. If you know how to do vectors, you can easily get it. But
You just minus the one. You put it in order, then you minus in this case, I'll minus A, put a negative in front of A, and then do it straight through.
Yes, that's a good way. I want to do it visually though. So, and that's one reason why I don't like vectors, because we have to draw a whole graph. But a graph is helpful. And so we have here okay, so we have what are the coordinates here that we have 7 and -15, and then we have -2 and 3. So that's -15 on the y.
Sorry, I have one question before you. I have one question. Why do because if you look at A, right, it has OA and then OB, right, and then it says express AB. Okay, A is in the front, so why do you okay, I know that it's the rule to minus the first one, but why do you minus the first and not the second if O is in front of B? So wouldn't B technically be the one you have to rearrange?
Like I said, it's best looking at it from a graphical standpoint. You will see exactly why we do it. So, so I can try to do this quickly because language is in a few. So 7 and -15. So we have -15 and 3. Okay, so that's good. So and then on the x we have -2 and 7. Okay, so if I do, okay, good. So here this will be -1, -2, -3. We're going all the way up to -15, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10, -11, all the way up to -15. And then we have 1, 2, not negative now, just the regulars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And then On the X, the only thing we really need on this would be, one thing we really need would be, we only need 3, sorry, -2 and 7. So you only need -2 and 7. So let's make sure. -2 and 7. So let's make sure those two are accounted for. So again, -2 and 7. Good. So -2, we need that. And 7. 7 will be somewhere here. Okay, good. So remember that A, what we'd say, yeah, A is from, what's that, where's A and where's B? I don't remember the coordinates.
A would be, I think,
7,
-7 and 15.
7, -15 from the question, right? And then B would be what? So that's 7, -15, and -2, 3.
-2 and 3.
-2, 3. -2
and 3.
Good. Okay, so let's plot this. So A is 7 and -15. And so I'm going to color code it. So we're going to represent A in blue. So A is going to be 7 and -15. So it's going to be right here. This is actually A. Right now, they said that we are going, now what we want to calculate really is OA. Okay, OA. Remember that the origin is O. And so if we're moving from O to A, right, we are going like so. O to A. The direction really matters here. O to A is this direction. Alright, so that's that. So O to A, it means that we start at, the origin and we go to point A. That's what OA means. We call them position vectors because they have their tail at the origin. Their position vectors. And so the next thing we have is, say, B, right? And so B is what? -2, 3. So that's that. This is B. And so OB, right? OB is going to start where?
At O.
Start at O and go to
B.
Very good. So start at the origin and go to B. So that's OB right there. So this is OB.
How you do one of these before?
And this is OA. Yeah, we did.
We did.
So
That's why we do it like that.
say it again.
I see why you minusing it now.
Exactly.
It's going downwards.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and so we want A, B, right? Isn't it? That's the vector that we want. And so if we want AB, right? That means that we have to start at A, right? And then we have to go to O. So that means that we're gonna go, so AB means that we start at A, right? Then we go to what? O.
O.
And
And then from O
go from O
to B.
to B. Right, that's what that means. Now, it's important that we understand that when we go from A to O,
Very good now.
right, we're going in the opposite direction, isn't it? Right? So if we when we go from A to O, we're going in the opposite direction. You see that? So that means that we have to write a negative, right? So this is going to be negative because we're going from A to O, so we're going opposite direction. So it's going to be negative OA. Okay.
Mr. T,
Yes, wow.
whenever you get some time, I send you some pictures what I need help with.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, so this is AO, but we go in opposite direction, so it's going to be negative OA, right? And so that's where the negative comes from. And so that's how we are going to craft our solution. Negative OA plus OB. Okay, and it's based off of the graph that we draw. So we go from, so this is exactly how it's going to be. So let's go back to our question. And so express it as a column vector. Remember what we do? It's a negative OA, right? Negative OA. Reason why it's negative OA because we're going in the opposite direction of OA. In the opposite direction. And so, and that's that. And so we know what O is. OA is. We know OA is what? 7 and negative 15. We know that. That's 7, negative 15. We know OB is what? Negative 2 and 3. We know that. We take the negative 1 and we multiply it by these two terms. So negative 7. Negative times 7 is negative 7. Negative times a negative is positive 15. And so what we do here is we do negative 7 plus negative 2, which is negative 9. And 15 plus 3 is 18. So the vector AB is actually 9, negative 9, 18. And that makes so much sense because if we look at our graph, right? We look at our graph here. The vector AB would actually be, I kind of think of it, but anyway, that's not worry about that. Let me not make the analogous representation. But in terms of our column vector, it's negative 9, 18. So that's how we do that. Any questions on that before I switch over to language? Let me know, please. Okay, so let's do let's finish up what we started in language. We was on, so we finished ethos, logos, and pathos, didn't we? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We can language.
Say it again.
That's it for maths. I didn't get. Can I get a screenshot if that's it for maths?
That's it.
All right. Let me get a screenshot of this grid. Okay. Okay.
You're gonna do the rest tomorrow.
Thank you. I can step out just for a second, just to get something.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Yeah. So, quick questions. When we say ethos, what do we mean? Ethos.
Mr. T, I can be here, but I gonna do something real quick.
Yeah. Anyone else? When we say ethos, what do we mean?
What were the three again? Ethos.
Ethos, pathos, Ethos, logos, and pathos. Those are very three important elements of writing.
Well, I know logos is, I think you said logic and
Logic.
the path or something like that.
And then pathos is what?
That one I can't remember.
Dealing with emotion.
Dealing with emotions, yes.
Yeah, that's it with emotions.
So now how and then so what ethos is? No one remember ethos?
Isn't it like structure, style?
It's the important C word that I'm looking for.
The tone of voice.
Content?
It's a C word.
What? It is?
Very important when you're trying to establish ethos.
What? Ethos?
Like, how do you expect people to trust you? You have to be what? Talk to CR.
Credible.
Credibility?
Credibility, yes.
Oh, right. I was on it.
Yeah, you have to be credible, right?
Now I remember what that is.
Yeah, so ethos. Oh, okay. So ethos means you have to be credible, right? So you have to establish credibility. And you establish credibility by showing your prowess as a writer. You know, making sure everything is neat, nice, clean, well organized. Making sure that you are well-meaning. Making sure that you quote from, um, or you cite sources that are credible in themselves as well. You present yourselves as worthy as of the audience trust. Like we said, we do that by doing the following things. Then we talked about logos. Logos is logic, one of my favorite parts of the essay, and definitely I'd say one of the strongest parts, because logos means is the thing that you're saying making sense? And so in practical terms, like, or in a real world situation, ethos would be exemplified. Say, someone comes to your door and they're trying to sell you, say, a cable package, right? That has internet, um, Rev television, and phone, let's say. And so this person is trying to sell you this, right? And one of the ways that they could establish credibility immediately is by doing what? How could they establish credibility? They could do what?
Be organized.
Be organized. They could be organized. They could first of all, in terms of their appearance, hey, right? So they could come dressed, fit for the occasion. So they could come dressed in, say, a bow tie and a suit or whatever, nicely pressed and everything. So that would establish in your mind, and in some degree, some ethos, because you're saying, okay, I guess this person makes sense. They come well dressed and well suited, and so, or to be even more credible, they could come in their uniform, so in their company's uniform, right, to be more credible. And so, yeah, so that's credible. But let's say they say that they selling you this package, and you get phone, Rev TV, and you also get internet, and the price for it is and no, let's not say that. Let's say that they say that you would want to support our um you know you would want to support our company, because as you can see, crime is increasing, um and this package will help to decrease crime, say, right? Now, immediately, what you would say is, now, number one, you sure do look nice, and you sure do appear credible, but your argument is illogical, right? Because how in the world me buying this package will help to decrease crime, right? And so their reason is totally illogical. And so even though your handwriting may be good, even though your work may be organized, if your arguments themselves are weak, right, then you lose them on the logo spot. Okay, so you want to have a three-headed monster. You want to be good on the ethos, be good on the logos, and be good on the pathos. All right? If any one of those are wrong, I would say especially logos. Because you can kind of get away with ethos, you know. You kind of get away with that. Doctors get away with it all the time. But logos, you can't really get rid of the logos. Like your logic and your reasoning have to be on point. So I'd say that of all the three persuasive techniques, logos is the most important. You have to have a sound argument. Okay. So and you do that by being well informed. So you have to expose yourself. You have to know what you're talking about to talk about it, right? And I think that makes sense. Like, you know, the more you know about the topic, the more you can actually talk about it. If you don't know about the topic, you can't talk about it. That's just, it sounds commonsensical, or it sounds like common sense, but you know, there's more than meets the eye, because if you don't know what you're talking about, then it's little you can say. And if you say anything, well, it would be rambling. It'd just be discursive rambling. And so, yeah, you have to make sure that your logos is important, is on point. Cooper's asking for the link. All right, so next up we have, so that's those three. And then pathos is, of course, emotion. And I think that emotion is very important, because it appeals to sympathy. It gets the reader engaged. It sounds poetic and all that good stuff. So pathos is important. And it's definitely convincing too, because sometimes we could think with our heart and not with our brain sometimes. And so that also is persuasive as well. Today, go ahead.
Emotion. That said, not too much emotions, because like the reader can and you.
Yeah, you don't wanna put too much emotion into it, especially if you are trying to convince someone. You don't want them to, you know, think that you are trying to take advantage of their emotions. So you have to be careful with that. The next thing that I promised that we would do is, I don't know if y'all can remember, but I told you all the sequence of things we would do in their order. I said we would look at ethos, logos, and pathos. Then I said that after that we would look at, I don't know if y'all can remember. Can someone help me? What did I say?
Zetty. How are you supposed
How you supposed to remember? Because you pay attention in class. And
Oh yeah. What?
Go back on the numbers, please. I mean, 1, 2, and 4. I don't have those.
1, 2, and 4. So yeah. So
No, this one right. No, this right here. I'm just screenshot it.
So to read argumentative and persuasive text more effectively, you have to assess the writer's credibility. That's what ethos. So these three things is not only for when you are writing it, but they are also for when you are critiquing or analyzing someone else's work, right? You can say that, hey, you could notice that, hey, this writer uses a lot of ethos, or not ethos. This writer uses a lot of pathos, and then you could identify certain techniques associated with their use of pathos, right? Their tone of voice at that particular time, the metaphors they use at that particular time, appeal to emotion and to appeal to sympathy. The stories that they use in that particular time to, create an emotional environment. You could analyze that. You could also look at the writer's credibility, right? Are they credible? Did they establish themselves as credible? Did they cite sources, right? All these things you could include when you are critiquing or when you're analyzing another piece of work, right? Those are the things that can come to mind. Evaluate supporting evidence. That is, distinguish fact from opinion. That is, of course, logos, because that's dealing with the intellect. And so when you are looking or when you're reading someone else's work, say in a reading comprehension exercise, you have to look at their ideas. Are their ideas coherent? Is it united? And does it make sense? Is it logical? Right? Is it consistent with, or is it in harmony with your experience? And with the state of the world and what is true about the world and stuff like that. So, and so definitely you want to look at those three-headed monsters when you are evaluating someone else's work and also when you are writing something yourself. That's important. Yeah. Yes, Mom? Someone else was asking a question.
I didn't realize I was unmuted.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so the next thing I said we was gonna do was that we was going to, today is the Tuesday, and I'm excited for this one. I mean, Monday. Next thing, my head get chopped off. It's Monday, Mr. It's Monday.
Let's see what we're doing today.
Yeah, we are doing. I guess they wanted to see.
How do you pronounce that thing?
All right. So we're looking at Tolman's model for analyzing arguments. Tolman's model for analyzing arguments.
Okay, so like what this is?
You will see.
This name got me. I don't know.
So in 1958, right? We had a philosopher. His name was Stephen Tolman, and he talked about what he would consider the basic elements of an argument, right? And his model or his scheme or his approach has three parts, three basic elements to it, right? So he said that, okay, first you have to make a claim. So now it's important. Tolman's model for analyzing arguments is not only something that you're going to use for someone else's work. So when you're doing the reading comprehension passages, when you are, especially for my extended people, when they ask you all those critical thinking questions, or for the Bgcse, when you are asked to do when you're asked to do reading comprehension exercises, or in other subjects when they ask you to use some reading and answer certain questions, you look for these basic elements, right? So these three basic components of an argument can not only be used for someone else's work, but especially, I would say, for your own work. And so the three basic parts that he said, Mr. Stephen Tolman, he said that, hey, the first thing you need a claim. Now, when I say claim, anyone know what I mean by claim? Like, what do we mean when we say claim? You need a claim. That's the first part.
Like proof? Like something that could...
No, a claim is not proof. Claim is not proof.
Claim, like the general sense of claim, as in like when you claim when you claim something.
No. No, not when you claim a prize. No.
Okay, no, I can't help you.
No.
You mean like stance?
Yes, like stance, right? You need a claim, or you need. Give me another word for stance.
Evidence.
Say it again.
Another word for what?
For stance.
Your side, you pick a side, you agree,
Yeah.
whether you agree or
The side.
disagree.
Exactly. The side. So the first thing you need a claim. A claim is, it's interesting, the word that is used, but a claim is basically your proposition, right? That's your declaration, your position, right? This is my claim. I'm making a claim, or I'm making a stance. I'm making a declaration. This is my side, right? That's what a claim is, right? This is what I hold to be true. Right? This is what I believe to be true. That's a claim. All right. So give me an example of a claim that someone would make. Right.
I agree that
That what?
that school-age children should have a curfew.
That school-age students have a curfew. Good. That's your claim. All right. That's your stance. That's your position. All right. That's your thesis. So a claim.
That's what you call a claim?
Yeah. Yeah. So the claim is basically something that's your main idea, right? It's your thesis. It basically answers the question of what are you focusing on. So the claim basically says, this is my point, and this is why it matters, right?
So we just call it the thesis.
We just call it the thesis, right? Thesis, claim, main idea, all in the same thing. So Tolman says, hey, in order for you to have an argument, the first thing you need to do is pick a side, and he's right. You need to pick a side. You need to have a thesis, all right? So that's what it is. So his three basic parts of analyzing argument. The first one is the claim. The second one is support. So now you make your claim. You state your position, right? You pick your side, right? And then now it's time for you to support it. Okay. And what do you think the support is essentially?
The evidence onto why you picked that side.
Exactly. So he's saying that the first thing you do in order to have an argument, the first thing, in order for you to develop your argument, and when I say argument, I mean, your sequence of ideas that that your sequence of ideas that that is there to deliver your viewpoint on a situation, right? That's your argument. It's a sequence of ideas that delivers your viewpoint on a particular subject, right? So in order for you to have an argument, you first have to pick a side. But then you can't just pick a side. You have to tell me, you have to support that side, right? So your claim is, so the claim here is, like I said, the main idea or your thesis. And then after that, you have to have a support. And your support are statements that are given to back up your claim. Okay. So claim is the main idea or thesis that you are focusing on. Basically, the claim answers the question of what's your point, And what? Why
I got so much commas in this.
does why does it matter?
Cause I write too much commas now.
Yeah. All right. So that's our thesis. What's your point? And then why does it matter? Second is support. So when you are writing your, or when you're developing an argument, Mr. Tolman is saying you need these three components. You need a claim, your position, you need your support, and then you need the warrants. All right, so support. So let's develop the idea of support. So the support are the statements given to what? Let's say back up
Yeah.
your claim. This may take a form or this may take, we can say this may take many forms. What could you use to back up your claim? Facts, right? Data, right? Personal experience, expert opinion, evidence from other texts, emotional appeals. What else could support your claim? Your personal experience is good. This is a good one. Examples, right? Hypothetical situations. Comparisons. Contrasts. Rhetorical questions. Rhetorical, sorry. So all these are different ways you can support your statements. You can give facts, you can give a testimony from your own experience, you can give examples, you can give hypothetical situations, you can give comparisons, say, oh, so let's suppose this happened, and well, look at this one versus that one. Well, look at this particular example. You can give counter examples too. I like counter examples. Counter examples basically is examples that, like, say for example, the person said, "Oh, I never lied. I never lied." And then which your counter example could be, "Oh, I never lied." You say, "I never lied," and your counter example could be, "Well, remember on May 5th, you said that you was gonna go to the hospital with me, and currently it's May 16th, and you ain't gonna end up on the hospital with me yet. So that's your counter example. You said you was gonna go with me, and then you didn't go because you lied, and then now you tell me you never lie. So there it goes. You know, that's a counter example. Hey, and the good thing is that the more reliable, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the more reliable and comprehensive your support, the more likely your audience is to accept your claim. Alright, so that's important. The more reliable it is, the more comprehensive your support, the more likely your audience is to accept your claim. And then, so you have, so in establishing your argument, right? You have the claim, that's your position. You have your support, that's your that's what's going to back up your claim, right? And the more sensible and the more comprehensive and reliable your support, the more your audience is likely to accept it, because that's logos, right? That deals with their that deals with mind to mind, argument to argument, right? You appeal into their intellectual side, right? Their side of reason. And so the better you're able to state that claim, the more convincing it is, provided that the audience actually want to know and to understand. Then we have the warrants. Anyone have any idea what we mean when we say warrants? Warrants. Anyone knows? Let me say warrants. Any idea?
Yes.
Hello? Why are you so quiet? Why not? No?
I said no, sir.
Oh, okay. So next part of your claim is the warrants. And the warrants is basically, I don't know if y'all, I used to say this a lot. Granted, right? Granted is another, something that is close to it. Warrants means something that both of you all, or you and your audience, you all assume that these are true. And you don't explain it. So warrants are like, this is an unstated belief, right? Say it again.
What you say, warrant, sir?
It's like, it's an unstated belief. Like, you don't say it, right? You don't say it. But you and your audience already know that it's true, and you don't even have to say it. Like, you already working under the assumption that that both of you all believe that same core principle or core value. So we call it warrants. Like, we can't say everything, and we can't explain everything, else we'll have a million-page essay, right? So some things you just have to take for granted that the person know and agree with you. You understand? Like, you just have to take for granted that that they accept that position and explain something that's more important. Okay? So that's what we mean by warrants. So the warrants are the unstated beliefs, or let's say values, or inferences, or experiences that you are assuming. Now, assuming means that you don't really know. You just you just consider to be true. Like, I mean, we just hope that your audience agree with you on this point, such that you know how to explain it. And warrants are oftentimes trivial. They're so trivial that um that you don't have to really go and explaining that. Like, people should know that. Like, if you try to explain it, it'll be like, why even explain that? We already agree with that. That ain't the point. You know what I mean? And so warrants is what you take for granted that that the person and you believe that core thing, and you just work from those set of principles, right? Because if you explain everything, then first of all, it's impossible to do that, and second of all, well, you don't even have time. And so certain things you just have to take for granted and say, okay, I believe you understand that, so let's go, let's move on, let's explain the more important things. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That you are assuming your audience has
We apply all this in writing.
with you. Yeah.
Interesting.
You don't think so?
My opinion don't matter.
Why you say that? If your audience don't set the same assumptions as you are making about your support, then your argument won't be accepted, won't be effective. So if you and your audience don't have the same assumptions, right? Fundamentally, right, at the core, then your arguments to them won't work, right? So you have to be careful with warrants. Some things are not warranted, and some things are, and so you have to be careful with that one, you know.
Excuse me. Is warrant the same as in when police say we have a warrant for your arrest? These
No. That's different, right?
I just don't. I know. I'm so sorry.
Say one for my wrath. Okay. That's pretty cool.
No. Okay, so
Different?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't know we had all these rules, right? So you're telling me rule abiding and a say. We have to consider all these rules?
Yeah, but Nancy, you do that's the thing. You do it automatically, right? But we are just in this class organizing what you do automatically into deliberate steps, because when you're doing it, you don't think about it, right? But this is actually what you do. But you don't really think about it. You just do it. Like it's just like walking, right? If I tell you to write an essay on how to walk, like you'll be like,
For one leg out.
like it'll be
I
normal.
don't think you write a proper essay all the time, so that's why I asked.
But what I'm saying is that we do this automatically, but in this class, and that's what learning does. In this class, we are organizing what we do and fleshing it out so that we won't forget these deliberate things. Okay. And so what we're doing is we're fleshing out what we sometimes do normally so that we can be more intentional about doing it. Okay, so it wouldn't be something that we just miss and do and don't actually understand that we did it, but it'll be something that we intentionally do. All right?
Mr. Petit, why you ignore my question?
Your question, what question I ignored? You said the only question I heard was, is warrant the same as police?
Yeah, like is that the same word?
I said no. Sorry, it's the same word, but they're not the same. I don't mean warrant in that sense.
Okay, I just asked him like it's the same word but different meaning.
Yeah, it's the same word but different meaning. We don't mean warrant in the sense of someone is looking for your rep.
You've been using that a lot tonight. Claim, warrant, all kind of words you're using, but they mean the same.
Yeah. Just a different spin on it. All right.
Which is
So
interesting.
that's, I guess we could look at an example to really see how it would, play out. Hopefully, then you would understand what's happening. So, example one. Oh, I don't want this. Yeah. So let's say someone warns you.
Who wants to write this exam?
Yes, ma'am. Someone warns you. Don't eat that mushroom. It's poisonous, right? So that's what poisonous are. So that's what someone's warned you, right? So in this particular in this particular statement, right? We have all of Tolman's model for an argument. We have all of them in the same statement that the person said. Like I said, this is something that we do every day, but we don't really think of it like it, right? So someone comes to you, let's say you walking along, say in a bush or something like that, or say like you go on a hiking trip and someone who with you, they more experienced than you, they said, don't eat that mushroom. It's poisonous, right? So first thing, what's their claim?
That is mushroom poisoning.
What's their claim? Their claim is not that it's poisonous. That's not their claim. Their claim is what?
Eat it?
Their claim is what?
Or like not to eat it?
Yes. Their claim is you should not eat that mushroom, isn't it? That's their claim. We agree?
Oh, so the support would be it's poisonous.
Exactly. So their claim is you shouldn't eat that mushroom. Their support is their support is
That the mushroom is poisonous.
the mushroom is poisonous, right? The mushroom is poisonous. Oh, that's what wrong. Now, what are the warrants?
I mean, this is it. Like depends, because if it's a wild mushroom, it will be poisonous. Or
No, nothing to do with the warrants.
Sure.
The warrants is, remember, warrants are what? unstated beliefs. That's the first thing. So warrants is not something that they said. Like they didn't say it outrightly, but they don't have to say it. You already know it.
They saying like, okay, you'll die from eating that mushroom because it's poisonous.
Okay, okay. So what do they assume? Go ahead.
That's not healthy.
It's not
It
healthy.
can make you sick.
Can make you sick. Uh what do they assume about you that
Well, like you can eat it.
no, what do they assume about you, right? That is probably true. That they don't even have to say it.
They tried before.
No,
That you can eat that mushroom
no, not the
or
person.
try it.
Okay, I don't understand the question you just asked.
What I'm saying is, okay, a warrant is something, right, that they did not say, right? That's the first thing. They didn't say it outrightly, so it wouldn't be clearly stated like a part of this sentence, right? But they assume, right, that you believe this and they believe this.
Like mushrooms.
Not not you like mushrooms, no.
That's something bad is gonna happen if you eat the mushroom.
That's something bad. That's close.
Like you dying, getting sick, diarrhea. I don't know.
No,
Nausea, headache.
no. Well,
The mushroom?
the mushroom. Okay,
Because
so
that's it. Everything that comes to my mind. So
okay.
a mushroom.
Okay, the warrant is that you want to live.
How?
That's the warrant. Like
Something that is so basic we never got.
Come on, babe.
that's how basic it is. Like if we assume, right? We assume that you want to live. Now, if I say you shouldn't eat that mushroom because the mushroom is poisonous and you wanted to live and you wanted to die, then what I would say would be irrelevant. Like it'll be like, why are you saying this? I want to die. But
Some
listen. The assumption is that I believe that you want to live. And so since I believe that you believe you want to live, then I am telling you don't eat that mushroom because it's poisonous. And if you eat that, you're gonna die because it's poisonous. So my warrant is that you want to live. Now, that's the assumption I make. And all of us operate under that assumption that the next person who we contacting actually want to live. And so that's why when, someone doesn't see a tragedy that is about to happen to them, we quickly tell them because we assume or we believe that they want to live. And that's a warrant. Is that?
Really, I'll eat the mushroom.
No, Nancy, no.
No, Nancy, don't eat the mushroom. Okay,
It sounds so weird though.
that's a warrant. Okay, give me an action warrant.
that the person wants you to live.
No. The next
But
warrant.
see, I want to know why is it you want to live if the person telling you not to eat it?
Yeah, the person, the warrant that is, or the assumption is that the person is making about you. So the person is making the assumption. Again, the person is making the assumption that you want to live. Maybe I should say it like that so you get it. The person is making the assumption that you want to live. That's the warrant.
Oh, so like, let's say for another one, people like, let's say, don't go behind that specific car or something. That would be like indirectly telling them that you want them to live because they get knocked down.
Yeah, because they exactly.
Okay. So I understand that together.
Yeah. Now, another assumption is that the person believes that you are not immune to poisonous mushrooms. That's the next assumption that they make. So the person makes the assumption that you're not Superman and you are immortal just like them, and if you eat that, you're gonna die just like they would die if they ate it as well. So the assumption that they make is, or the warrant that they make, is that, hey, you are not immune to mushrooms, to poisonous mushrooms. So you shouldn't eat that because it's poisonous. And I don't say that, but I don't say this next thing, but I believe that you're not immune to poisonous mushrooms. And so you can die. And so don't eat it. But in my argument, I don't say you are not immune to poisonous mushrooms because that's clear. Like I don't have to say that because you are just like me. You're human. Like I don't have to say that you're not Superman. I don't have to say that, hey, you're not Spider-Man. I don't have to say that because it's common sense. Obviously, you're not Spider-Man. Obviously, you're not Superman. Obviously, you don't have superpowers such that if you eat something that's poisonous, you're not gonna die. So I don't have to say that in my argument. So when you write an essay, like it sounds so weird if you say, like if you add a point that is so basic that person's like, of course, duh, of course they're not immune. Like, of course they ain't Superman. Of course they want to live. Like, of course, like that's warranted. You don't have to explain that. We just assume that's the case. Like, we don't have to explain that we believe that the person believes that they want to live. Like, we don't have to explain that. Like, that's true most of the times. And so that's what we mean by warrant. Does that make sense?
I think I get it.
I think you get it. Another warrant is that we assume that you don't know it's poisonous. That's another warrant. Because I'm telling you, don't eat it. Why? Because it's poisonous. So I'm making the assumption that what? That you don't know, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't tell you.
Making you aware of the situation?
Yeah, like I'm making the assumption that you don't know it's poisonous. That's why I'm telling you it's poisonous. So the assumption that I'm making is that I believe that you don't know it's poisonous. So that's why I'm telling you, hey, don't eat that. It's poisonous. So I am assuming that you don't know it's poisonous. Because if you knew it was poisonous and you also know that you want to live and you also know that you're not immune to poisonous mushrooms, you wouldn't eat it. Okay? So it's a lot of assumptions we make about people, right? It's a lot. You see how much assumptions we already make? The first assumption is that we assume that the person want to live. That's the first thing. We don't know that. But it's probably true. Like, it's probably true, right? The next assumption that we make is that we assume that they are not Superman and that they don't have superpowers. That's probably true, right? That's probably true. It could be a rare case that they, have some genetic, mutation that they don't, flare up an allergic reaction when they eat these mushrooms. And the next assumption that we're making is that we assuming that we giving them new knowledge that they don't know it's poisonous. So you see how much in one statement, you see how much things we already assume about a person, right? In just one thing we said. That's warrants. We do it all the time. There's a lot of things that we say that we already assume about the person before we even know them. And that could get us in trouble. But we have to do that because otherwise, it's impossible even to function. You have to make some basic assumptions about people. Otherwise, you can't really interact in society. You just can't. It's impossible. I have to make the assumption that you could hear me, right? And that I have to make the assumption that what I say affect how you feel. I just have to make that assumption, even though I don't know. I have to make that assumption. Because if I operate, one moment, Ms. Cooper, if I operate as if your feelings don't matter, and if I operate as if my words don't affect you, if I operate as if um you um you can be treated any type of way, then and that you want to be treated any type of way, then I get myself in problems easily. Right? So yeah, so we have to make certain assumptions to live. Go ahead, Ms. Cooper. Okay, the next warrant is that I make the assumption that you trust my knowledge of mushrooms. That's the next one. All right. So then there's that. So for homework, I want you to try certain ones. I want you to try this one. If we don't stop immigration in the Bahamas, soon you won't be able to buy Bahamian food at the fish fry. So I want you to tell me the claim, the support, and the warrants. Okay.
Can you go up, please? A little more. Thank you.
Hold on, you gotta keep it there just for a minute. I gotta zoom in. Hang on.
I think English is boring. Thus, we shouldn't have to study it. And the third one is he needs to get a watch.
We didn't trip.
He isn't, yeah, we don't tree. So he isn't late to the meetings anymore.
Mr. Petit.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget them screenshots so that I send I need help with them.
I look like okay.
Yes, so whenever you got time, one day. I mean.
You say Monday?
No, I say whenever you got time, cause like I think I need that for either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, gee.
Pray for me, y'all. My practicals on Thursday.
Okay.
You got this, Kennedy. You got this. A plus. I'm telling you, you got it.
I praying, yeah. I praying.
I'll tell you this one issue I had during the exam. So I picked one dish, and it was a 2-course. I did not study for that, and I forgot what a 2-course meal was. You weren't supposed to put an appetizer for a 2-course meal, and I put that there. So and I put it in there. Oh, what I happened? You had to pick a question, Cooper. So the question I picked was how to make a 2-course meal to serve a group of teenagers that are health conscious.
Like what the subject is?
Yeah, that's the subject there. Because in the whatever you do, pick art, nothing else. Just pick art.
What are you doing again Thursday?
A 2-course meal requires you to pick between a dessert or an appetizer, though, so you shouldn't be penalized for that.
For real? I put both.
So I don't see why they. Anyway, name my business. Sorry. You put appetizer and dessert.
Yeah.
That's a 3-course. They do the 2-course. You better drop, and then you just get penalized for it in the because you ain't cooking it. So just don't cook one. No, for real. Save yourself. Just cook one. Forget if you want the appetizer dessert. I did mine. I didn't think I messed up. I gotta drop one.
All right, I think that's it. Kennedy, all the best. And
All the best.
Thank you.
Don't forget, don't
And I realized that 85 is a B in Bgcse.
Say it again.
85 is a B.
Well, it depends because they start those stuff on the curve. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it's a goddess. I'm pretty sure you can get it.
Hopefully.
Certainly.
You get an 8. Pass me. You get 8.
All right, blessings, everyone. See y'all on tomorrow. Oh, use the new link, please. I'll have to send it.
Okay.
Use the new link, please. Send it on tomorrow.
Much love. Bye.
Definitely.
That's what they before you go, bless.
Good night.
Good night. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Well, I'm about to send a picture on WhatsApp right now.